Winter's chill is familiar to us all, a seasonal rhythm that shapes our lives and routines. But sometimes, that chill transforms into something far more ferocious, shutting down entire cities, halting transportation, and threatening lives in its relentless path. We've all felt it, a cold snap so severe it brings daily life to a standstill, closes schools, and puts immense strain on emergency services and first responders. This is the polar vortex in action, a term that's become part of our everyday conversation, symbolizing winter's most extreme moments. These events can bring entire countries to a standstill, highlighting just how vulnerable we are to nature's most powerful extremes. Imagine waking up to a city buried under feet of snow, temperatures plunging dangerously low, and power grids pushed to their absolute limits, threatening blackouts. The economic and human costs are immense, especially for the most vulnerable, elderly, homeless, and families struggling to stay warm. News headlines track the storm's relentless approach, and communities brace together, united by a mix of anticipation, anxiety, and hope for safety. The beast from the east in 2018 is a stark reminder. Europe plunged into chaos by a sudden blast of Arctic air, disrupting millions of lives. Such events underscore the critical need for accurate weather forecasting, which can make all the difference in how we respond. It's not just about deciding what to wear, it's about giving everyone, from families to city officials, enough time to prepare and stay safe. Accurate forecasts protect lives, safeguard infrastructure, and help keep society running even when the weather turns hostile. The swirling colors on weather maps become a national conversation as we all watch, wait, and hope for the best outcome. These shared experiences remind us of nature's overwhelming power and our collective need to be ready, to help one another, and to adapt. The right warning at the right time can mean the difference between mere disruption and true disaster, saving countless lives. In the end, forecasting is about more than just predicting the weather. It's about building resilience and ensuring our communities can withstand whatever winter brings. And in the face of winter's fury, preparation is everything. It's our best defense against the icy grip of nature's most powerful season. So, what exactly is the polar vortex, and why does it matter so much for our weather? It's a massive spinning pool of frigid air that sits high above the Earth's poles, acting almost like a cold air reservoir. In winter, this icy vortex usually stays put, locked in place over the Arctic by powerful, fast-moving winds that circle the pole. But when those winds weaken or the vortex wobbles, chunks of that bitter cold air can break free and surge southward. That's when we experience extreme cold snaps, Arctic air unleashed on places like Europe or North America, bringing sudden, severe winter weather. The real action, though, happens far above us in the stratosphere, several miles above the ground, where the vortex truly forms and shifts. Sometimes a phenomenon called sudden stratospheric warming can disrupt the vortex, causing temperatures to rise rapidly and sending cold air spilling out unpredictably. The polar vortex isn't a storm you can see on radar. It's a powerful, invisible force that shapes our weather patterns from afar, often without warning. Its stability is what determines whether we get a mild, manageable winter or a deep freeze that can last for weeks. That's why meteorologists closely track these shifts, using advanced models to predict when major cold events might strike. Understanding the polar vortex is the first step in forecasting winter's wildest and most unpredictable moments, helping us prepare for whatever the season brings. In the UK, the Met Office is the gold standard for weather forecasting. Founded in 1854, it's a world leader, trusted by the public and government alike. At its core is a supercomputer running the unified model, simulating the atmosphere in stunning detail. Data pours in from weather stations, ships, balloons, and satellites, creating a real-time snapshot of the world. Expert meteorologists interpret this data, turning it into forecasts that guide everything from daily plans to national emergencies. When the Met Office issues a red warning, it triggers action across the country. Their process is rigorous, cautious, and built on science. Ensemble forecasting, running models with slight variations, helps them gauge uncertainty and communicate risk. Their mission: protect lives and property with the most accurate information possible. In a crisis, their word is the one the nation listens to. Alongside official agencies, a new wave of independent weather forecasters has emerged. These passionate individuals use global models like the GFS and ECMWF, interpreting raw data for their audiences. They're not bound by institutional caution, so they often highlight dramatic possibilities and long-range trends. Their tools: powerful computers, visualization software, and a knack for storytelling. They build communities around weather, making forecasts accessible and engaging. Some are highly skilled, others less so. Quality varies, but they play a growing role, democratizing weather information and challenging the traditional top-down approach. In today's world, forecasting is no longer just for the experts, it's for everyone. Why do forecasts differ? It's a question that often comes up, especially when you see two weather apps predicting very different outcomes for the same day. The answer comes down to the models that power these forecasts. Each model, like the Met Office's unified model, the GFS or the ECMWF, relies on its own set of equations, unique assumptions, and a variety of data sources. Resolution matters. A higher resolution model can capture local details, such as thunderstorms or sea breezes, while global models, which look at the bigger picture, may miss those smaller features. Data gaps, especially over vast oceans and remote regions, mean each model starts with a slightly different snapshot of the atmosphere. Even tiny differences in starting conditions can grow into big forecast changes over time. This is the butterfly effect in action. To address this, meteorologists use ensemble forecasting, running models many times with small tweaks to see a range of possible outcomes and better understand uncertainty. Official agencies usually focus on the most likely scenario, aiming to provide clear guidance to the public, while independent forecasters might spotlight dramatic outliers or rare but impactful possibilities. That's why you'll see headlines about monster storms from some sources, while others remain more reserved and cautious. Neither approach is necessarily wrong. They're just showing different sides of the uncertainty that's always present in weather prediction. The key is understanding what each forecast represents and how to interpret the information for your own needs. In complex events like polar vortex disruptions, disagreement between models is not just common, it's expected. It's not about who's right or wrong, but about being prepared for all possibilities and understanding the range of potential outcomes. In the end, forecasting is as much about clear communication and helping people make decisions as it is about the science behind the models. The beast from the east in 2018 was a polar vortex disruption in action. A sudden stratospheric warming shattered the vortex, sending Siberian air across Europe. Long-range models, especially the ECMWF, hinted at trouble weeks ahead. Independent forecasters sounded the alarm early. As the event neared, the Met Office's warnings grew more urgent, triggering national preparations. Their detailed forecasts helped authorities and the public brace for chaos. Early speculation built awareness. Official alerts drove action. The result: massive disruption, but far less than if we'd been caught off guard. It was a forecasting success, proof that early signals and authoritative warnings save lives. When a storm looms, who should you trust? Official agencies or independents? For consistent accuracy, the Met Office and ECMWF lead the way, thanks to their resources and scientific rigor. Their forecasts are measured against real outcomes, prioritizing public safety over hype. Independents often highlight dramatic possibilities early, sometimes getting it right by chance, but they don't always mention the many times those dramatic events never materialize. Official agencies wait for model consensus before issuing warnings, less exciting, but more reliable. The best approach? Use both. Independents for early heads-up, Met Office for actionable details as the event nears. It's not a competition, but a partnership. Each adds value at different stages. Trust the experts for specifics, but keep an eye on the horizon with independence. Together, they help us stay one step ahead of the storm. Accurate forecasts are more than a convenience. They're a lifeline. Knowing a cold snap is coming lets us prepare, check on neighbors, stock up, insulate homes. For transport, early warnings mean fewer stranded travelers and safer roads. Energy providers can ramp up supply, preventing blackouts as demand spikes. Hospitals and emergency services can staff up and position resources where they're needed most. A good forecast shifts us from reacting to proactively protecting lives and infrastructure. Every extra day of warning is invaluable, turning chaos into calm. From government decisions to personal plans, accurate forecasts empower us all. They transform natural threats into manageable challenges. In the end, forecasting is one of science's greatest gifts to society. Weather forecasting is evolving fast, and the future is bright. More powerful supercomputers mean higher resolution, hyperlocal forecasts. Artificial intelligence is helping spot patterns and correct model biases, making predictions even sharper. Collaboration between official agencies and independents is fueling innovation. Open data and shared expertise are breaking down barriers. Soon, forecasts will be more detailed, timely, and useful than ever. For all of us, that means fewer surprises and more time to prepare. The future of weather prediction is clear, smarter, faster, and more collaborative than ever before.